Brett Dawson from Sellout Crowd here at Paycom Center. It's New Year's Eve. That means basketball in Oklahoma City. And the Thunder is a 124-108 winner over the Brooklyn Nets to wrap up 2023 and usher in 2024 with a win. A little bit of a sluggish start for OKC. Didn't shoot the ball poorly, but the defense just wasn't really as locked in as it normally is. The Nets made some difficult shots, shot the ball great in the first quarter. Very competitive first half. The Thunder led by only 3, and then pretty much controlled the second half. And the big difference, besides the appearance of the Love's jersey ad patch, which was missing in the first half due to a kind of a jersey mix-up. Thunder got that corrected in the second half, but really offensive balance. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander had 24 points, light work for him recently, but every other starter had at least 17, and Josh Giddey had 20 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, one of his better nights of the season, and one of his best nights since he got into a pretty significant slump, as we saw teams really start to sag off him, play him sometimes almost exclusively in stretches with centers who were backing way off, giving him a lot of space. Tonight, you saw that again some from Brooklyn, and the Thunder handled it really well, and Giddey handled it really well. An aggressive game from him. Shot the ball very well, a season-high 4 3-pointers, and just shot it confidently when he was open. You didn't see a lot of the hesitating and pausing that you've seen. The Thunder's done a great job of kind of getting him on the move, making him a cutter, less sort of standing around offensively when teams sag off him in that way. Tonight, when he got into situations where they did, he just shot the ball, and he shot it really well. Chet Holmgren had a nice night, 18 points, 10 rebounds, a couple of blocks. Lou Dort had 18. J-Dub, Jalen Williams had 17, and a pretty slow first 3 quarters. He took off in the fourth, and we've seen that a little bit lately with those early fourth quarter bench units. He got off to a great start in the fourth quarter and really helped the Thunder pretty much put the game away. The fourth quarter, almost a foregone conclusion. The starters did play quite a bit, but the Thunder pretty well had the game in control. OKC's been a pretty good team here, not just to start this season, but at the end of last season, the team that made a run to the play-in tournament at the end of last season. This is a team playing at about a 50-win pace in the year 2023. Now, that doesn't matter. It's 2 halves of 2 different seasons, but it says a lot about the growth here, the maturity that's starting to happen. This is a team that enters 2024 on a really hot streak. Now, it's entering into 2024 with a brutal January. That will happen to a lot of teams this month upcoming because of the sort of quirkiness of this year's schedule. You had the in-season tournament. That meant every team had a week where it only played 2 games, and we had a couple of Sundays where there were no games at all in the NBA to allow for travel because you didn't know who was going to be in the in-season tournament and who would be traveling before and after it started. So everybody's got some catching up to do, some teams more than others, and for the Thunder, that's going to mean a 17-game month, 5 sets of back-to-backs. That's a crazy number. The Thunder's really only had a couple so far, so that's going to be a big adjustment. Mark Daigneault has talked about lengthening the rotations. You'll probably see some guys who don't play a ton get a lot of minutes in some games. They've kind of prepared for that. Mark Daigneault always does, always is kind of going to tinker with those lineups. You'll probably see quite a bit more of that in January, and there's no more difficult way to start other than going on the road maybe, but a home game against the Boston Celtics, who are among the very best teams in the league, playing great, blew out the San Antonio Spurs tonight on the first part of this road trip, and we'll be in OKC on Tuesday, so that's going to be a really fun one. And from there, the Thunder hits the road, a longer road trip. They're going to have a couple of those this month, so a lot of challenges lie ahead. But this is a team that made really significant strides in 2023. It's going to go into 2024 with a lot of excitement. There'll be a lot to follow. We'll be doing it here on my YouTube page and at selloutcrowd.com, so make sure you check it out. Happy New Year to everybody.